All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're putting football's greatest modern rivalry under the absolute strictest of microscopes. We are completely stripping away the emotion, the fan debates, and the highlight reels, and we're looking exclusively at the data from 12 yards out, the penalty kick. You know, it's the ultimate test of nerve, technique, and consistency. For over a decade and a half, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo have been their team's designated executioners. But when we look strictly at the numbers, who truly holds the edge? Today, we're giving you the ultimate, objective breakdown of this penalty duel.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Our roadmap today is going to cover 5 key battlegrounds: the all-time numbers, the big misses, penalty shootouts, reliance on penalties, and finally, peak season records. Starting right off with Section 1, the all-time numbers. This is where we set the pure, unadulterated baseline for the entire debate. So, looking at the sheer volume and accuracy, honestly, a pretty clear picture emerges right away. Cristiano Ronaldo has a definitive edge here. Over his entire career, Ronaldo has stepped up and scored a staggering 183 penalties, boasting a massive conversion rate of 83.6%. Lionel Messi, on the other hand, has scored 114 penalties, with a conversion rate of 78.1%. So in terms of sheer output and mathematical reliability from the spot during regular play, the data points squarely to Ronaldo. He simply takes more, and he scores them at a higher clip.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the broader context, right? While Ronaldo's stats are superior to Messi's, zoom out to other elite strikers of their generation, and the picture kind of shifts. We see Robert Lewandowski sitting at an incredible 91%, Harry Kane at 86%, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic at 85%. Ronaldo is elite, undoubtedly, but this data beautifully illustrates that the penalty ecosystem at the very, very top is insanely competitive. And that brings us to Section 2, the big misses. Because let's be real, even the absolute greatest players to ever touch a football are human.
We all know the routine when a team is cruising, up 3-0 in a league match. But what happens when the pressure is at its absolute highest? When a Champions League final or a major international trophy is on the line, and literally millions of eyes are watching, the legs get heavy, and I swear, the goal just seems to shrink.
Take Ronaldo, for instance. His record, while spectacular, is marked by some incredibly high-profile misses on the biggest stages imaginable. Back in 2008, he missed in the Champions League semifinal against Barcelona, and then just weeks later, missed again in the Champions League final shootout against Chelsea. Fast forward to 2012, and he misses in another Champions League semifinal shootout against Bayern Munich. But here's the fascinating twist of fate. His teams actually managed to survive and advance, or even win the trophy, in 2 out of those 3 monumental matches. Now, for Messi, the misses in crucial moments have often been devastatingly costly for his teams. In the 2012 Champions League semifinal against Chelsea, he crashed a pivotal penalty against the crossbar, and Barcelona was eliminated. Then, the 2016 Copa America final penalty shootout against Chile, where he blasted his spot kick over the bar, resulting in a truly heartbreaking loss for Argentina. It really just goes to show that the immense mental burden of the penalty spot spares absolutely no one, regardless of their genius.
Actually, before we move on, I have to drop this brilliant little asterisk into the mix. When you look at the raw data, it shows Messi with 32 career penalty misses. But if you watched Barcelona back in 2016, you know that one of those quote-unquote misses was actually a deliberate, audacious pass. Instead of shooting, Messi gently tapped the ball forward for an on-rushing Luis Suarez to just smash it into the net. Technically, mathematically, it goes down in the record books as a missed penalty attempt for Messi, but come on, it remains one of the most creatively entertaining moments in modern football.
Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds. Penalty shootouts, the ultimate tiebreaker and an entirely different psychological beast. When we isolate just the shootout data, the gap between these two titans, it essentially vanishes. It is incredibly close. Ronaldo has scored 12 out of his 14 career shootout penalties, giving him an 85.7% success rate. Messi is right there with him, scoring 11 out of 13. Sitting at an 84.6% success rate. When the match goes the distance and a shootout is required, both of these players are exceptionally reliable. Yet football is a team game, right? And individual brilliance doesn't always guarantee team success in a shootout. This is where the data reveals a truly startling paradox. Despite their almost identical individual scoring rates, the overall team outcomes present a very different picture. When Messi takes part in a shootout, his teams have won 9 and lost 4, When Ronaldo takes part, his teams have also won 9, but they have lost an astonishing 10 times. It's a stark reminder that even a guaranteed goal from your star player is really only one piece of the shootout puzzle. Pivoting now to Section 4, Reliance on Penalties. How much do these two actually rely on the spot to pad those legendary goal totals? So the crucial point is shifting our perspective from sheer volume to the mathematical proportion of their total goals. Over his entire career, 18.81% of Cristiano Ronaldo's goals have come from the penalty spot. That's 183 out of 973 total goals. In contrast, 12.51% of Messi's total goals are penalties, 114 out of his 911 total goals. The data clearly shows that Ronaldo's overall scoring tally relies significantly more on his duties as a penalty taker than Messi's does. You can see this reliance even more clearly with hat-tricks. Ronaldo has an astonishing 66 career hat-tricks, but notice how nearly half of them, 43.9% to be exact, required at least one goal from the penalty spot to complete. And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast. Looking at Messi's 60 career hat-tricks, only 21.7% of them include a penalty goal. That means more than 3/4 of Messi's hat-tricks are comprised entirely of goals from open play or free kicks. Again, we aren't taking sides here, we're just reading the data, and it highlights a fundamental difference in how these two players construct their most prolific scoring performances. All right, moving to our final battleground, Section 5, Peak Season Records. Let's celebrate their absolute highest highs during single campaigns. This scorecard neatens up the chaos. Just look at Messi's 2011/2012 column. It's an absolute statistical anomaly, where he took 17 club penalties, scoring 14. For Ronaldo, his highest volumes hit in the 14-15 and 19-20 seasons, converting 14 out of 16 for Juventus in the latter. When we combine both club and international play for a single season, the volume is honestly just staggering. In the 2019/2020 season, Ronaldo stepped up to the penalty spot 19 times for Juventus in Portugal, scoring 17 of them. Messi's peak anomaly year of 2011/2012 saw him attempt 18 penalties for Barcelona and Argentina, scoring 15. The sheer mental stamina required to step up to the spot that many times in a single year, knowing the world is watching your every single flinch, it's truly remarkable. So what does this all mean? We've seen Ronaldo's superior overall volume and conversion rate. We've seen both players crushing misses on the biggest stages. We've seen their nearly identical shootout reliability and that stark contrast in how much they rely on penalties for their overall goal tallies. The data gives us the raw truth, but let's be honest, the debate is absolutely going to rage on. So, leaving the narratives at the door and looking purely at the facts, when the whistle blows and the ball is placed on that white dot, who do you trust most from 12 yards out?